Over 1 million jobs have been cut this year, and unfair wages are leaving workers discouraged. It's easy to feel like the system is stacked against you, but what I want you to know, you are not forgotten and you are not powerless. In this video, we'll explore how to rise above these hardships with faith and resilience. Hi guys, today I want to talk about what I've been finding on LinkedIn, the unemployment, what's happening there, a little bit about the unemployment rates, and also AI annotators, what their rate of pay, what they're being offered, which I think is unfair. So I was checking LinkedIn today for the amount of job seekers still looking for jobs and for their desperation levels. There have been a few people who were hired recently, but these still trickle in like sparse raindrops. Not enough people have secured jobs in this holiday season of December 2025. So the current unemployment rate as of December 7th, 2025, from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows the national unemployment rate at 4.4% for September 2025. Okay, so due to the federal government shutdown that disrupted data collection, no official figures are available for October or November 2025. The next BLS report covering November 2025 data is scheduled for release on December 16th, 2025. Again, that's the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS. Independent estimates such as from Chicago Fed's real-time labor market model, updated December 4th, 2025, suggests the rate remained around 4.4% unemployment in November with little change from September. So is this unemployment rate higher, lower, or about the same? So the unemployment rate is higher than it was 1 year ago. September 2024 was at 4.1%, but has been relatively stable, if you can believe that, in recent months, edging up slightly from August 2025 from 4.1% to 4.3%. Broader context shows a gradual upward trend since early 2025 amid slower job growth and economic pressures like the government shutdown. So looking at a comparison table from September 2024, unemployment was up 0.1 point, but November 2025, a year later or so, it's 0.3%. So it has crept up. The 0.3 percentage point rise year over year translates to about 700,000 more unemployed people. And there's a lot of them on LinkedIn, and that's a lot of people. 700,000 more unemployed people over the last year. However, monthly changes have been small, indicating stability rather than sharp deterioration. Still, this leaves hundreds of thousands of people out of work. So forecasts suggest it could tick up from 4.4% to 4.5% by year end, influenced by weak hiring and shutdown effects. But weekly jobless claims dropped sharply in early December. This is mainly due to holiday-related volatility, muted layoffs, and employers holding on to workers despite slower hiring. Okay, so the drop in weekly jobless claims is less about booming job creation and more about employers holding steady. So the volatility risk, the sharp decline may be overstated due to seasonal quirks. Claims could rebound in coming weeks. Hiring slowdown, stabilization doesn't mean growth. Businesses are cautious, limiting new opportunities. Also, less unemployment claims currently could be delayed jobs report as the reason. The official November employment report was postponed until December 16th due to the government shutdown, leaving uncertainty about broader labor trends. Then there's structural pressures. There's reduced immigration, AI adoption in entry-level roles, and trade policy uncertainty that are constraining labor supply and hiring. So layoffs have surged in recent months, with U.S. employers cutting over 1.17 million jobs in 2025 through November, the highest level since the pandemic. That's major, all the layoffs. This marks a 54% increase compared to the same period in 2024, showing that the labor market has faced significant turbulence. So in late 2025, the layoff trends are that more than 1 million, 1.7 layoffs announced from January to November 2025, the fifth highest total since 1993. Monthly swings, October saw a massive 153,000 cuts, while November eased to 71,000, still a 24% higher than November 2024 in monthly swings. Technology had over 153,000 layoffs year to date, driven by restructuring and AI adoption. Telecommunications, there were 38,000 layoffs, including a major cut by Verizon in November alone. In retail, there were nearly 92,000 layoffs, reflecting weaker consumer demand and store closures. And in the government public sector, more than 300,000 jobs were eliminated due to cost-cutting and restructuring. The AI impact has been cited as the reason for over 54,000 layoffs in 2025, showing how automation is reshaping the workforce. Restructuring and closures, together, these account for more than 300,000 job cuts this year. The labor market cooling shows that while weekly jobless claims dipped in early December, the broader trend shows structural weakness. The holiday season strain, retailers are hiring fewer seasonal workers, signaling reduced confidence in consumer spending. And worker displacement, AI-driven cuts disproportionately affect entry-level and mid-tier roles, creating challenges for recent graduates and career changers. And regional disparities. States with large tech and telecom hubs, California, New York, Washington, are seeing sharper impacts. So those are really hard numbers to take, and people are really feeling the impact of it. I tune in to LinkedIn on a daily basis, and I found some examples I'd like to share from today, what people are posting. So one person posted that 20 days before Christmas, with plans to take maternity leave, a company laid a person off with no notice, no warning, but a cold, unempathetic business needs excuse. He had already discussed his paternity leave with HR, so this was completely a planned leave. And he said leadership didn't care about his family's health, including that of his unborn child, because being laid off meant they all lost their health care coverage. Their response was, "I'm sorry you feel that way." Can you imagine how inhuman and impersonal and distant that feels from a company? And I suspect a lot of companies would respond the same way. "I'm sorry you feel that way," like it's nothing. This whole life of this family has been affected. I mean, this puts them in a crisis, really. The second example from today, a job seeker was told by a company that they're not hiring until January. The person encourages people to keep applying for jobs in December because some companies are still hiring in December. I believe it. I think that's true. Don't give up just because it's the holidays. The third example was someone wrote that they just got an email rejection for a job they applied for 8 months ago in April. So 8 months ago, he applied for a job. He completely forgot he applied for it. And 8 months later, he gets the rejection notice. At least he got an answer, but how helpful is it really at this point? I'm sure he's moved on by now. The fourth example, someone posted they're spiraling due to mental health issues they already have, and it's exacerbated by being unemployed and in the exhausting and disappointing job search. It's not even disappointing, it's alarming. This job market is throwing so many people into crisis. It's alarming. It is a crisis. It's been common to see people posting GoFundMe accounts out of desperation. Someone commented that it's like a pre-Great Depression time in our country, and I agree. The fifth example, someone asks why there are so many MLM opportunities that they find everywhere on LinkedIn. They comment that MLMs are not careers, but are compensation avoiders. They do not build wealth for the average person. They exploit them. Example number 7, neophyte resume writers with no real experience and bad advice are selling their services with inflated success rates to get their clients hired. They're faking that they are resume writers and selling their services. This is so easy to do on LinkedIn. Nobody checks. It's a lie, it's evil, and people are taking advantage of desperate job seekers who are literally begging for jobs. The 8th example today, an AI company is looking for data annotators and creative writers who would be interested in working for $20 an hour on W-2. Can you imagine? And this is what really ticked me off, because I worked as an AI LLM trainer of large language models. $20 an hour. Whoopee, right? So a data annotation specialist, in case you don't know, is responsible for labeling and categorizing data, and they might do other things, to train machine learning models, ensuring high-quality data sets for AI applications. And working on W-2 means you're hired as a contractor for a specific contract period where you might receive benefits through the agency you actually work for. So a temp agency hires you on W-2, but you actually are working on behalf of the main client of the agency. But the temp agency is your actual employer. So if you find freelance gigs, though, as an independent contractor, you might be able to negotiate $25 to $40 an hour for similar work. Still, $20 an hour is on the lower end of the spectrum of rate of pay, and definitely undervalues the combination of skills involved, especially if these jobs require a master's degree or a PhD, and yeah, sometimes they do, and then they pay you crap like that. So I looked up how much data annotators make. ZipRecruiter said, as of December 7th, 2025, the average annual pay for a data annotation worker in the U.S. is $52,000 a year. In case you need a simple salary calculator, it works out to be approximately $25.23 an hour. Hello? That makes a big difference. $25 an hour versus $20 an hour. This is the equivalent of $1,009 a week or $4,374 a month. That's really not a whole lot of money these days. So according to salary.com, the pay rate for data annotation specialist salary as of December 1st, the average salary in the US is $47,860 per year. They say it breaks down to about $23 an hour, which is better than $20 an hour. Give me a break. However, a data annotation specialist salary can vary significantly. So top earners could make $60,000 a year. The majority range could make up to $54,385 a year. Entry level would make something like $40,000 a year. According to Grok, the average hourly wage across all jobs in the US is about $30 to $35 an hour. That's the average hourly wage across all jobs in the US is about $30 to $35 an hour. So why are these companies offering $20 an hour to people that have current AI skills that are doing cutting edge work? So $20 pay rate is below the median for skilled desk jobs. I guess they're taking advantage of all the laid off people from AI training jobs and people wanting to work in AI, since AI has become so important in our world and is definitely growing. It's a growing field, artificial intelligence, so people want to work in the field. $20 an hour, though, won't work in many areas such as San Francisco, New York City, where the cost of living is much higher than other parts of the U.S. So it depends on where you live. A lot of AI workers are remote workers. So to pay the same rate throughout the country, I question the fairness of it. Pay rates for data annotation and AI LLM training jobs in the U.S. now. The pay rates in the U.S. now vary widely based on specific job role, experience level, and the company offering the job. So who is the ultimate client and who are the temp agencies? It makes a difference. So the average annual salary for data annotation is about $52,000. Top earners can make up to $75,000 annually. Those would be for people who are fast, who are experienced. A data annotation specialist, the average salary is around $48,000 a year, with hourly rates ranging from $23 to $25. Take that to your recruiter and tell them, hey, I'm willing to take a little bit more. That's the average annual salary for these jobs. Data annotation jobs pay ranges from $25 to $100 per hour, depending on experience, expertise, and geographic location. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about building your case for asking for more money. AI LLM annotation jobs pay ranges from $40 to $180 per hour, with specific roles requiring strong analytical skills, attention to detail, and a background in linguistics, computer science, or a related field. Now, here are some suggestions that you might want to try when dealing with job postings that offer underpaid wages, okay? So you could try countering the pay with like $25 an hour, citing the creative demands, market data. Like I've just said, the national averages for these jobs are higher, and your former experience. Have metrics ready to cite from your past work, such as increasing your productivity or increasing your scores. I've had the experience of working with agency recruiters where at some point during that conversation, they normally say, do you agree to the pay rate? At that point, you could say, well, I really think I would rather get $25 an hour because of this and this and this, and they can tell you right away if they're allowed to pay that much. But usually they can come up a little bit. Usually, that's what I have found working with temp agencies. So give it a try. And just be nice about it. Not, like hard and fast, it has to be this much, because they can pay a little bit higher usually. Number 2, ask for performance bonuses in your contract, skill-based tiers, or ask if these are available, such as $5 an hour increase after hitting and exceeding, the required outcomes. Ask for flexibility of hours so that you can work on other gigs at the same time. You don't have to tell them you want to look for other gigs at the same time, but just, that, okay? Just say, is there any flexibility of the hours you work? The 4th one, create a portfolio of your work to pivot to $40 an hour in AI prompt engineering. Get a portfolio ready. Show some examples of your work without breaking your, DNS. Check sites like Upwork or dataannotation.tech for benchmarks. So, create that portfolio without giving away company secrets. In more expensive areas, ask for more to be fair due to the higher cost of living in your area. Show your training you've taken that is relevant and recent. That's step number 6. The 7th suggestion, you might try hanging your own shingle as an independent contractor and charging much more per hour because you'd be working on a 1099 contract, not W-2. You have to charge more as a 1099 because you'll be paying taxes for working this way, and it adds up. Companies actually love hiring 1099 contractors because it costs them less overall and gives them flexibility. So you could be working on a W-2 job, and I'm not sure, but what if you hired yourself out as a 1099 working somewhere else as a side gig? I don't know if you can do both at once, but something to look into. So companies can hire you for however long they need on a 1099 contract instead of buying and maintaining a fleet of workers on W-2. So charge higher, from $35 to $65 an hour, or higher still, like $80 or $150 an hour for specialized creative prompt engineering work. The company saves money from having no payroll taxes, no benefits. This saves them labor costs, and they don't have the HR paperwork, shipping out laptops, and it may save them on background checks. Companies can turn the workforce on or off like a faucet if you're doing 1099 based on new model training runs that start and stop in maybe an unpredictable time frame or client deadlines. Companies only pay for output, not hours, so if you're fast, you can earn more. Now, somebody gave me this idea, the 8th suggestion. Form an organization with others and with the same skill set and sell yourself as a package directly to companies that are hiring for these jobs, and sell your group as a ready-made group of skilled workers they can hire all at once. Give them a little higher pay, all right, because you're going to save them hiring costs, the HR stuff, the recruiting companies out there that they would normally have to pay. So go to companies directly with a group package offer, okay, and say, if you pay us $25 an hour, you can hire us all right now, okay? But I do get the desperation where people need to find jobs, they need work. I've been there. If it were me and I wanted to stay in the AI space, I'd do what I could to improve the rate of pay by asking, but I would accept the low pay while working my way to a better job. That's what I would do, just to keep money coming in. Ultimately, I'm against settling for the status quo because your skills are in demand as AI booms. But get prepared for those jobs in the future. Get your experience right, keep records of your improvements, metrics, and build a portfolio to have ready for your next job. Loyalty to companies doesn't mean what it used to mean. Way back in the day, loyalty meant a lot. You got the golden watch, the golden parachute right after being there 30, 35 years, a bonus or something. As I've experienced, doing a good job and showing up for work every day doesn't mean anything to companies. The job scene, right, has completely changed. It's completely different than 20 and 30 years ago. If the project ramps down or the company wants to get rid of workers, there's not a whole lot people can do about it. We are all expendable, and I believe that no job is secure. You can start a union, but as contractors, I'm not sure what benefit it makes while you're on the job as far as getting pay increases, working at high levels of performance for measly pay, because a lot of times you're going to be dealing with the temp agencies, and they are dealing with whatever the client is paying them. But I think in temp agencies, the head people are paying themselves more, and they are taking advantage of people desperately looking for work because the unemployment is so high right now. It's not right. Companies have the upper hand in the job market, and the scarcity of jobs is alarming. Many people are saying that LinkedIn is not even really a job board anymore, but a platform for advertisers. My feed is flooded with people complaining about LinkedIn bots, fake recruiters, and fake jobs. Other people are giving advice about how to improve resumes and criticizing the ATS, applicant tracking systems. Many TA, talent acquisition, and people in HR, recruiters, are encouraging job seekers to keep applying for jobs, networking, which is not a quick fix, it takes a long time, and staying focused and to not give up. You got to post on LinkedIn and let it be known what jobs you're looking for, and do that regularly. This is how more people see you. Recruiters out there will be looking for people. Make it known the jobs you're looking for. Don't be shy. Use it as a tool. You need to be seen and known, and people need to see what you have to offer, your excellent skills, right? Right now, the job market is like the Wild Wild West, with an occasional post that someone finally gets hired. You sometimes see those, but most people seem to still be looking for jobs. And who gets these few jobs? That's the Wild Wild West of it. It's like, how do you get those jobs? It's unpredictable. It's not a normal job market anymore. It doesn't work the same way. And a lot of companies are really not hiring. They put out these fake job posts because the companies want higher visibility. They want to be seen. More people are going to flock and look at these companies. If they have a fake job, it's going to attract more people. And that's really cruel. But just know you are important. Your skills are needed, and you must support yourself. Find ways to turn the tables on these awful companies offering low rates of pay to get hired, or form your own companies, or become an independent contractor on the side and get the compensation you deserve. So before I close, I'd like to give you some things to mull over while you wait for that job offer. Remember, your worth is not defined by a paycheck. You are equipped for more than this moment. And hardship is temporary, but God's promises are eternal. Hold on to His plan for your life. That's what I would say as a Christian. Don't let setbacks stop you. Use them as stepping stones. Keep learning, keep building, keep believing. Share notes with people. What are you doing? Or how did you get your job? That's what I might do. PM a person that just got hired and say, what was the trick that got you the job? What do you think got you that job offer? You are not alone. Sticking together with others, such as in online groups, can help people avoid the emotional valleys that everyone feels. Okay, when they're looking for a job, they don't have income. It's frightening. To rise above these challenges and walk into new beginnings with other people's support. Support is very, very helpful. It's like being emotionally injured every day when you don't have income. I know I felt that in the pit of my stomach when I was working at less pay. Every day I would show up and I just felt in my guts, this is pain because I'm being taken advantage of. This is a sort of abuse, emotional abuse. And remember, when doors close, at least for me and maybe other Christians, always turn to God, who has always provided for me in hard times. He always has been there for me, even when I lived in my vehicle. Things happen I knew were gifts that made that easier for me to go through. I know this may be hard for some of you because you've been told God is an angry man in the sky and he's unpredictable, or that only people who need a crutch believe in God. You'd be surprised at promises given by God in the Bible. He provides and knows the numbers of hairs upon your head. Give it a try. Let me know how this is an issue for you, and I'll try to move you through it to the truth about Jesus Christ. I was an unbeliever up until about 5 years ago, so spent most of my life as an unbeliever, and I went through every kind of spiritual quest imaginable. I'm here for you, and I know others are too. Send me a DM if you want on LinkedIn or contact me through my YouTube channel. I will respond. I'd like to help you get the support you need from a loving God. Whether you believe it or not, it's the truth, and I and others are living proof of His gifts. Jobs may come and go, but your calling remains. Christian or not, you have a calling, you have a skill set, you have talent, you have education, you have experience, you have a lot to offer. Keep pressing forward. Companies need you. The world needs you. And if you can, trust God. Keep building the future He's placed in your hands. So I hope you'll be here next time on my YouTube channel or find me on LinkedIn. Take care. I am hoping and wishing and supporting and thinking good thoughts for you. Take care.